Welcome to part 2 of 3 in my video series on my interview with Deanne McPherson. In this video, I will be talking about the interactions with students and what their greatest challenges are in the classroom, as well as seeing how she typically communicates with parents. So, firstly, one of the major issues that students have in her classroom is organizational skills. They lack the discipline to keep track of when their assignments are due. They don't place their homework, textbooks, or other belongings in an orderly fashion that can be easily accessed. And they don't come prepared for class, oftentimes. So these things contribute to their lack of organization, which make it hard for them to be successful in the classroom. Another great deterrent to their ability to function well academically is the major reading deficit that many students face. This problem even affects the math classroom because the Common Core has recently required a literacy standard to be included in every math lesson. If a student can't read their word problems that they're expected to answer, and if they can't comprehend what it's asking them, then they won't be able to answer and won't be able to succeed on their exams. One of the next things that is also a big problem is a lack of foundational knowledge. Um, One problem that eighth grade math teachers have is that they can't build off of prior knowledge because their students are lacking in it. There doesn't seem to be much retention from students in mathematical concepts from grade to grade. So things that they are supposed to learn in sixth grade and build off of in eighth grade, they are unable to do because they don't remember how. So this lack of foundational knowledge makes it really hard for them to progress through the grades, and they can't keep up. Another huge issue is students' writing abilities. There's so much pressure for them to jump from one paper to the next that there's no time to really slow down and develop the necessary skills to write independently. So instead, I feel like teachers have to hold their students' hands through the writing process, telling them where to put a thesis and where to put supporting details and where to put their transitions, etc. So students aren't really able to write independently because they have to be told over and over again the process of writing. Moving on to the parent side of things, Mrs. McPherson does several things to try and have a good relationship with the parents. First of all, she sends an initial email at the very beginning of the school year introducing herself, telling parents that she's their student's case manager. She immediately gives the date for their IEP meeting, and she prefers emails over phone calls because those are often more reliable and are better way for her as a teacher to stay in touch with the parents. The next thing she does is sends out an IEP invitation and informing parents of when their meeting is. Again, she sends it both as an email and mails it directly to their address. She also provides a survey for parents to fill out, tracking things such as what are your child's strengths, what are their weaknesses, what types of things are they interested in, and what are some of your concerns as a parent. These things are supposed to help her get to know the student so that she can provide the best care for that student and help them succeed. The only issue is that hardly any parents are proactive about filling this out to allow her to have this kind of knowledge about the student, which is unfortunate. The last thing that she provides for parents is meeting with them individually. This automatically happens during IEP meetings, but there are also opportunities at parent-teacher conferences or any other additional meetings that parents request. So these 4 things are ways that Mrs. McPherson interacts with parents. And then previously we talked about strategies or things that students struggle with. Tune in for the next video to hear how Mrs. McPherson believes that things can be improved in her classroom and in special education specifically.